Hey now, hey now. How y'all doing? Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody? Come on in, come on in. Light up the chat. Say hello to me so I can say hello to you. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Hello. Welcome to Ask Alma. How y'all doing? I'm your host, Alma Gill. So nice to see you tonight. It's going to be a slight delay in some of the folks saying hello because we actually have three of those folks on the show tonight. So, which is fantastic. Yay. They will be here to answer, comment on our questions live and in person. Hello, hello, hello. Pat, where are you? Tracy, Demeen, Ayana, I know y'all watching. Come on now. Come on now. Where you at? Where you at? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. As I said before, welcome to Ask Alma. I'm so happy you're here. And I have a lot to talk to you about. A lot for us to discuss. Danielle, hello, hello. How are you? I'm so glad to see you tonight. Mary Lou, you know what? That diva is going to be here. Hospital, no hospital. Thank you, girl. Hello. Best wishes to you for a full and speedy recovery. You know, we got mad love for you here on Ask Alma, and we are praying for you. Tracy, how are you? Renita Crawford, how you doing? Good to see you too tonight. Happy birthday to my mama up in heaven, although I don't think you have birthdays in heaven, but it is my mama's birthday, so I wanted to do a shout out to her. Hey, girl. I think earlier, hi Sharon. Earlier, I had a moment that reminded me of my mother and my father. It was a conversation between my husband and myself about the heat because evidently it is supposed to be cold tonight. Hi Pat, how you doing? And he was trying to turn it on and I was trying to turn it off. Reminded me of my mama and my daddy. My daddy used to try to turn it on. My mama would go behind him and turn it off. Get a sweater. Because that's what happens around this phase of life, let me tell you. Anyway, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For the last and final time, I'm going to tell you where you at. You are watching Ask Alma Live, and I am your host, Alma Gill. That's right. That's who I am, and I'm so glad you're with me. I always have my main I was getting ready to call you something, Dee Dee, but maybe not. So I always have my best friend. Look,
I was like holding my breath, like, oh my God, what you get ready to say?
My best friend for a long time. How about that? Right? We just gonna say that because we don't need to add years. You know what I'm saying? Barbrinda.
We can add years. I was just a little concerned about what title you were going to throw up there.
No, we don't want
Years
to
is
add the years.
fine.
No, we don't
Sure.
want to
What
add
is
the
it,
years.
37,
See, I
38?
said we didn't want to add the years. Remember, I said 25 a couple of episodes ago. You were
It was
like,
like, nah, your son's 30 something, so it's been
right.
longer than that.
Need to add some years.
We had some years.
Barbrinda, we are glad to see
Hi,
you.
Brenda, everyone
Hello,
else that I didn't
hello.
see.
Thank you, Sharon. Yes, indeed. Birthdays, flowers, all of that to Carol. She was a good one.
Absolutely.
I know I can't be the only one that just gets warm. That's a nice way to put it. You
Well,
think,
see,
Dee
that's
Dee?
the nice part about living alone, is you don't have to
Yeah.
have that argument.
No.
It's cold when I want it to be cold. It's hot when I want it to be hot. Anybody visiting can go outside.
Or so Saturday night, I'm gonna call names just because I hope she's watching. Donna and I were at a party, and so everybody was having a good time. And every 45 minutes or so, Donna and I would step out on the deck.
So,
So people were peeping through the screen.
blinds, yeah.
Yeah, they like, why y'all out there? We like, you know what? Mind your business. We gonna
Right.
mind our business. We're good. Y'all not cold. We
It's
not cold.
either we're gonna cool off out here or we're gonna be inside acting crazy. So you
Right. So,
decide. You decide. Which is
Leave
it
us
gonna be?
alone. Leave us alone. That's right. Tonight is going to be a lot of fun because we have a fun bunch with us. These ladies, I'm telling you, I have loved them since birth. And there are a lot of good things about them. Let me just say that. But the best part about them is they really know how to have a good time and laugh and enjoy life. And I love that. And I love the map that they are laying out for me to do that. So I'd like to welcome our panel for this evening. Come on in, ladies.
Hello.
Hey, Robin
Yay!
and Lillian and Vanessa. Hi.
Hello.
Happy to have you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hi, Sheila. That's my cousin Sheila. I'm gonna have her on here one night too. Do you guys remember Sheila? She, my Aunt Elmire's daughter.
Yeah.
Um, so I do have to say, I call Lillian Bessie. So I'm gonna try not to do that for the
Hey, baby.
audience, so they will know that
Well,
I'm
everybody
talking
knows
about
it
Bessie.
now, so whatever you
Because
call her,
I
they're gonna
always
know who you're
say
talking
Bessie.
about.
Right.
But Vanessa calls her. Okay, so her name is Lillian. Welcome, Lillian, to the
Well, I've
panel.
known her for 30 years. I didn't know her
Thank
name was
you.
Lillian until the last time she was on the show.
Right, and I like that Vanessa calls her Lillian.
Oh,
I
okay.
like that name. Like I like the two names. It's a couple of people in Gill's family who have two names. The women in Alabama,
Like
Linda Gale.
MMA.
Yeah, Linda Gale. I love the two names.
Two
So
names and a damn
what
country.
did that remind you of, Robin? What did that
Betty
remind?
Lou, Betty
That
Joe.
damn a country.
I know, right? It's so funny when everybody had two names. I love
Oh
it.
my gosh. They're from the South though, right?
Yes, Alabama. They
Hmm.
are from the South with the two names. I love it, love it, love it. And I think one is it's not Brenda Gale. I'm gonna be really embarrassed by that. I hope they
I hope
correct
they're
me
not
on that.
watching.
I know.
Right.
I was gonna say I messed that up so bad. Tell me what it is.
Y'all have a friend named Bonnie Gale.
I love it. The two names. Hi, Tracy. Oh yeah, Petticoat Junction had the two names too.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
had the two names too. That was fun.
Betty Gale sound like a something named that's in the country song. I
Hmm.
Oh
love
yeah.
my girl Betty Gale. Down, 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 down.
I
Love
know the
her
country songs.
true.
That wasn't one.
Uh-uh.
One that Dolly wrote.
Oh
So
gosh.
speaking of names, I Johnny May, I do remember, yeah. Actually, I think the Johnny May I knew was a woman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was my
Johnny
friend.
May.
Mhm.
Yeah, Johnny
Hmm.
May. So I'm gonna segue from names to little kids, and I don't know what the it has no
Just
segue,
do it.
but
Go.
right,
We
just
with you.
like keep going. So I wanted to ask you guys about this because I found it to be quite fascinating. So before we get to the questions, I read an article. So it was a survey done by vouchercloud.net, and they asked 100% of parents, what is the age that your child should get their first cell phone? So before I tell you guys that, I do want to ask Sharon, Barbranda, Sheila, Mary Lou, Tracy, just put in the chat how old you think a child should be for their first to receive their first cell phone. I'm curious. And ladies, what do you guys think? Chime in and let me know what age you think is appropriate for a child to receive their first cell phone.
Do they have a? They have to have a job.
That
There's
Hmm.
would be a
a
requirement.
cell phone that just came out, and it was actually for adults, for older adults, but
Mhm.
now they're using it for children. But you can only program 5 phone numbers in it. So I think if you're 6, 7, that's a good phone to have because it's only got your mother, your father, your grandmother. You know, they're
Yeah.
the only people you can call, and that's for emergency purposes.
Well, my son was 7 when we moved away, and he would go to his father's, and he would try to call me, and he couldn't. So at the time, we got him I think it was T-Mobile. I'm not promoting a company, but they had this thing called Kid Talk, and he had 60 minutes a month to talk to whoever. He could talk to me unlimited, but he couldn't talk to anyone else. So
I like that.
it was his way to communicate with me because he was far away, but he couldn't do anything else. There were no games, no cameras, no anything but that. And he had that at 7 because he was away from home all summer and usually at Christmas. But he didn't get like a real functioning working phone. I'm sure he was like 10.
Yeah.
And even then, it wasn't an iPhone. I see some of these young children walking around with
With a better
iPhones,
phone
and
than
I'm
I
like,
have.
and that's a car note.
Yeah.
If some of those phones are really, really expensive. So I think the ideal age is probably 10 or 11. But I have
Renita
a
said,
feeling that your survey is going to be much younger.
Renita
Oh.
says, as soon as they're at the bus stop, because the school bus stop, sometimes early in the morning, it's dark outside.
That
Then
is
I
take a
think 11.
companion.
I have a precocious 6-year-old granddaughter
I was going
that
to
I
say,
live with,
please tell
She
that
grown.
and
story.
she thinks that she should have a phone now because she needs to call her friends. But her mother thinks 11 is an appropriate age because she'll be in middle school, and that way, when she gets in, she can call her mom to let her know that she's home
right.
safe. If she had her way, she
Because
would
you'll
have
be
it
at work.
Yeah.
because even though I'm retired, she says that when she turns 11, she needs that phone because her mom needs to know that she's safely at home. And
That's a good
Lil
point.
asked her, she calls me now Molly. Where will Molly be? And she said, well, Molly needs to get a job. So I'm going
Because you're
Molly needs
retired.
to get a job.
That's like our granddaughter. She told Gil. So y'all know my husband is retired like Vanessa. Retired, has his days, has his hours. And Ava wanted to buy something. She said, Grandpa, I'm gonna go ask grandma. He said, why don't you ask me? She said, because my grandma has a job. He was like, what? I know that thing pained him. He was like,
And
excuse
he bought
me.
2 just because he was like, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy you all the ones you want.
Because grandma
She
got a
knew
job.
how that was going to work. She was like, I'm
Oh
ashamed grandpa,
gosh.
and he's gonna go out and buy
He's
more
gonna
than one
get
of
me
them.
too. So you
How
guys,
old is
thanks for
Ava now?
commenting. Huh? Ava,
How old
yeah.
is Ava?
She is 9 years old. She is
She's
Ooh.
9.
Oh, that
9
time went
already.
fast.
Yes, it goes by so fast.
She said school
Mary
buses
Lou
can get
said,
crazy. At least they can call home when the bus driver quits in the middle of the shift. That is.
He won't be alone. There'll be a busload of people.
you know what though, with the cell phones, I remember when Josh graduated from boot
Oh
camp
my
and he let
gosh.
all the other soldiers use the phone and call home for like 3 minutes. And I got a bill for like, oh my gosh, it was like $1,800.
Wow.
But I called and said, I won't mention which courier, but I called them and I said, oh my gosh, my son just graduated from boot camp. He must have been the only one with a phone because it's this whole line. And you could tell it was like just 3 minutes, just 3 minutes all over the country. But they thought that that was wonderful and they ate the
waived it.
charges. Yeah,
That's
waived
cool.
the charges. Yeah.
Oh, good,
So
good.
that right, that was good. So you guys, the average age of a child who gets their first cell phone is 6 years old. So technically,
insane.
Vanessa, your granddaughter has read an article
She's
here
right.
and there, right? And
Well,
she's
she
trying
could
to
Well,
let y'all
I
know.
was just thinking about Sharon's comment. She says, I'm thinking being safe at school shootings. The last thing they want kids to do during school shootings is to be on the phone because
Right.
that ties up the emergency personnel to get into the buildings. And if you got 25 parents trying to beat at the door, the SWAT team can't get in. So
Oh
at some
wow.
point, you really have to trust that the people inside the building are going to take care of your kids. Because if your child calls you and says, "Mommy, I think they're shooting at my school," you're going to show up. So
Yeah.
you're blocking all of the activity to keep them safe.
And
My
Sharon,
students are always
Dee Dee is an educator. Miss Dee Dee is a teacher.
So we should be calling her Miss Dee Dee.
I call her Miss Dee Dee all the time. Miss Dee Dee.
Listen, they learned my name, and I have a complicated last name, and now that they know it, they call it every chance they get. I'm like,
It
stop
is because
calling me.
I can't pronounce it. What is
Comma
it?
G's.
Comma G's.
Comedies.
Remember that after this week, though.
The first day and the second day, they're struggling with it, but now like everybody knows it, and they will call like mom, just like that, except with your last name. But yeah, cell phones create a challenge in schools because we've known that they have been used to organize fights, the bullying, the inappropriate illicit activities, meetup spots, recording things that they shouldn't be recording. There's so many reasons why we really don't need phones out in the building. But the emergency situations is worse because if you have 22 cars blocking the SWAT team because your daughter called you to tell you to come to the school, then they can't do their job.
I got Josh a phone for selfish reasons. I got Josh a cell phone when he was 10 because he was an only child, and I really didn't want to have conversations with every parent that I had to see when I was rolling up to pick him up. It was like, I talked to you, before he came over. Hey, glad they had a good time. So that way I could call him and go, I'm out front. And he would come out, and the parents would be, hi, hey, okay, gotta go. So,
Well, Troy got one at 11 because she was a latchkey kid.
Yeah.
And then she had to go to the bus stop to get her brother, the next year. So
yeah, there are reasons why they need to get them a little bit early, but I do agree with everybody with limited access. You don't get like
elementary school kids at 5 is why do they need to call anybody?
Right.
They're with their parents.
Exactly.
Hi, Jimmy. How are
hey,
you?
Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy.
What's up, hey?
Well, Ayana, we want to see you too.
Yes.
Well, Mary Lou says her son is 38 now. He was 13 just to make emergency calls, and he got a phone at 17. He was part of the family plan.
And
then he paid for his own phone after that.
Yeah. That's the part I like. He paid for his own.
Yeah, I was very proud of Josh, who, when he started working, when he joined the Army, he said, Mom, I'll get my own phone and pay for my own phone. I was like, that's okay. You're on the family plan. Like, we might as well roll with it. And he was like, no, I'm an adult. I can get my own phone. It kind of pinged me a little, but I appreciate it.
But technology is a blessing and a curse.
Yes, it is.
I think, because so many of these children use it for adverse reasons.
Yes.
As Dee Dee was mentioning, I'm just thankful I don't have young children.
Yeah, it's gotten quite out of hand.
There are children that are on their phones all hours of the night. I have a friend that
correct.
takes her kids' phones from them.
That's a great
It's time to go
practice.
to bed. She has a basket on her nightstand, and everybody puts their phone in there. Because I know there's at least one child up at 3:00 in the morning. I know because he's sleeping in my class. Because he's been up all night watching
all night on the phone.
On the phone. So it can be a real problem, especially if parents don't pay attention. And unfortunately, we're using, like they used to say, they use the TV to babysit us. Now the phones.
The phone is babysitting.
Hey, Javon.
Hi, Javon. How are you?
They can use phones in classes now, depending on what the class is. They can use
really?
It depends on the class. It also depends on the school
Edison
policy.
School in Fairfax County, they can.
In high school.
Yeah.
My son said he needed it for math.
Yeah.
Sharon, he was smart. Yeah, he wanted to use the calculator. I commend him on that, especially when you ask for something and you have your list of whys, why I need it.
I don't know how old he is, but he would have got a calculator.
Exactly.
It's one on his phone.
Right. Got the one on the phone. Okay, ladies. So tonight we have a fabulous set of questions, and I want to first do the disclaimer and let everybody know that we are not PhD psychologists. We are women who are seasoned with an abundance of common sense. So that's what we will offer you at the end of the questions, because really common sense is very important. Why is she so?
I'm laughing at you.
That's Vanessa.
I know who
me,
she's talking about.
Sleepy.
That's me. She is
Oh
me.
my God.
She's A, Robin is B,
Oh
and I'm C.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
So the other thing that I want to mention is to say thank you to our video volunteer reader. Her name is Sandra. I won't give Sandra's last name in case she wants a little bit of privacy, but she's a really great friend of mine, and I appreciate her reading our questions this evening. So, y'all ready?
Yes,
Let's get this
ma'am.
party started.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Sorry, Sandra.
Uh-oh, Sandra, we
We
can't hear
can't
you.
hear.
I think the producer will
Two. I don't have
replay
any
this.
children and never got married. Hi, Alma. Good evening, everyone. I am your video volunteer reader for tonight's show. And without further ado, let's start with the first question. Hi, Alma. I'm 62. I don't have any children and never got married. I retired in June and realized since I'm no longer in the office, I have no one to talk to or to visit with on a regular basis. I didn't realize how connected I was to the people I work with. Now that I'm no longer in the environment, I don't have much to do. Truthfully, I'm feeling very lonely. Here's my question. What can I do at this stage of my life to find companionship? Thank you.
Okay, to recap the question, she's 62, recently retired, figured out that all of her friends were basically in the office, and now she finds that she's alone most of the time. She wants to know if we have any advice for her on how to get out and restart a social life.
Go out and get herself a younger man. That's where she needs to start.
How
And
much
Like
where
I
do
younger,
you
tell them,
Robin?
find
at
them?
least 10 years younger.
At least 10. And
At
where would
least
she
10.
find such a man, Robin, you
If
think?
Home
she
Depot,
if she looks like
Lowe's.
you ladies, if she looks as good as you all look, she wouldn't have a problem. Thank you,
Find what we got.
Tracy. Thank
Thank you,
you,
Robin.
Tracy.
I do think
That's
too, though,
right.
that you do have to go out to look
Right.
for what
Right.
you're
You want.
wanting. Like you
You
have
you
to
have to
be
present like
approachable.
you receive. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes we walk around like all knotted up, so people just walk by us. If you walk
Right.
around like you're willing to receive whatever's out there, it's gonna
Right.
tempt you.
Hmm.
But
I
She
like
maybe
should
what
go to
it's
Home
Renita said.
Depot. Home
I
Depot.
like
maybe
He's
it's
gonna
not
have
just
a
male
house probably.
companionship that she
Huh?
wants. Maybe there's
That's
women
Well,
too.
right.
my
Maybe
right.
there's a
question was,
senior center. You
why
know,
doesn't she still keep in contact with her friends from work? Just because she's retired doesn't mean she can't communicate with them anymore.
right?
You know what I thought, Didi, when I read that? I wondered if she had relocated.
Oh,
I
perhaps.
which I don't
Oh.
know,
Right.
but
Hmm.
I thought maybe she's not around those people. But the other thing too is I socialize with people at work. I work in Washington, D.C. I don't live near Washington, D.C. And when I do retire, which I am counting down the years, but I don't know if I would ride into the city just to kind of hang out. Now I would come to the Pekino games with Rob and Lily
Oh,
Ann
you ain't
and
gonna find no
Vanessa.
man there, sis.
Greg, you'll find Greg. He'll just be fun. He'll be
He's
No,
like,
fun.
she
nah.
won't find them
Bad
serious.
idea. Bad
Okay,
idea.
But you
but
might win enough
She-
money to go somewhere else and find
and
one.
find it. But Renee,
Right.
that is, like, will you still drive a long way to see friends that you worked with? I'm not sure. Renita
No.
said she could volunteer, which I thought that too. Volunteer, help others, a meetup group, a travel group, a hiking group, or a book club. Kinda, but are
You
men
know,
in those, or
A
those would be
hiking
like
group.
women?
No.
I think.
Right.
Home
Right.
Depot.
That's
But
right.
I'm going to lunch on Thursday with 4 people that I used to work with. We still go out together.
That's
You know, we
good.
Not
still
on
meet
a
every now
regular.
and then.
Right, not on the regular. Like,
Well,
Well, she only
No,
needs
and
one or two. She just needs people that she wants to spend some
You know
time
what?
with.
Another thing
I'm
that
thinking
came
about other things
Rodney
that
right.
you want
says
to
the
spend
men I
time
like are
with.
too old. So,
Yes, they
That's
are.
that's why he has to be 10 years
but
younger,
I'm a
right?
young lady.
He need
Absolutely.
to be able to hold up.
Absolutely.
I met some men. I thought this was really funny. So my husband is a disabled veteran. So Barbranda said connects with the church. That's good. Lots of people in activities there. A
Absolutely.
lot of women, but okay.
Sure
Um,
is.
I signed up for a line dance class,
Oh,
and
that's good.
Gil said, I can't do it with you. I was like, that's fine. I'll figure it out when we get there.
Mhm.
So there were people who had signed up who didn't have a partner. Not everybody has a partner when you sign up for these dance classes.
Right.
And I know my husband is watching. I am not trying to be disrespectful in any way because we have laughed about it. But Lord have mercy, the guy they hooked me up with was one of the finest guys I had ever seen.
But could he dance?
Whoa! You know what?
And why didn't she
But
call her
anyway,
best friend?
But
Why not?
what I
he
high
left
thought
you
was
five,
hanging.
GD.
Friendship stop
Right,
right there, D.
she's
what
slipping.
I
It's
thought
the
was
age.
funny is my husband's like, we gonna have to figure out how to work this out. I don't think you need him as a partner. But
Good
anyway,
answer, Tracy.
there
Tracy
were
or
single
cousin.
men. There were single men who had signed up to learn how to line dance and hand dance. So I think like book clubs are really good, but book clubs are primarily for women.
Women.
A lot of things that we do, it's good to join and you'll meet a lot of women friends. But if,
Denise said she would have rubbed her knee down.
Me
but
and you both, see, me and you
I
both,
would I
Ace.
would have been your
Love to
wingman,
hear
Tracy.
But the
You
thing
know.
love to
is, the
hear you
men were
tell.
there, so
yeah,
they have somebody to cuddle up with. After
to
the
meet.
dance thing. Yeah.
I think they were there to meet women.
Women.
So I think when we're looking
Because
at
men are
ways,
smarter. They always go to places where women will be. I
yeah.
remember years ago, they used to have the male exotic review at Classics, so I heard. And they would let men
Also,
in.
she.
You heard. They would let men in and make them sit at the bar away from the activity, but they would still be there. So when the guys were done dancing, the women, of course, would be, smooth, and then the men would be there to buy drinks and dance with them.
Renita, did she say she was looking for a man? She said companionship, so we aren't clear if she wants to meet a man or have a good group of girlfriends. But either way, we're offering her sound advice to meet both. I think. I don't know. Like I've heard dating sites are good or bad. I have heard good things from people. I know people who have met and married from
Yeah.
Yeah.
dating sites.
Right.
So, I think if you're going to try a dating site, make sure you check them out.
I look at
Like,
too many murder related shows and these people meet them. I would be meeting one of them.
Look, my daughter just texted me and said, "Tell them that they have to go to the men with an with a men R
Mhm.
exclamation point.
yeah,
Sports bars,
sports events,
steakhouses,
Yes.
right?
Top
Yeah.
Golf."
Well, and can
I'm thinking topless.
sweet
Okay.
sweet baby girl Tia, can she return my phone call or my text message? I would
She's
appreciate it.
listening. She's
I do,
listening.
I
She's
do, I
tuning
do have
in.
a little bit of a strategy for the sports bars. If you just know one fact, just one fact about the team, and you utter that loud enough for some man standing next to you to hear it, you will
Hmm.
have a date.
That's right.
Something random, like some like, oh, in '83 when so and so won the championship, I did X. Oh, you know a little bit about? Yes, I do. I'll take that and that to drink. Thank you.
Right. Or the other thing, like I think when you're out and about, if you're in the grocery store, you see a guy by himself and he's carrying one of those baskets instead of pushing a basket, say hello.
I know
Clearly,
that's
he's
right.
buying stuff for one person because he's got the little teeny basket. Or if you're out in the airport walking through and you go in to buy coffee or something and the guy is standing right there, just say hello. I speak to men all the time, and maybe I'm comfortable doing it because I'm married. I'm not
Right.
looking for a friend. But do
Oh,
you
well,
know
I
that?
don't know. I'm kind of looking. No, I'm teasing.
Oh,
Been married
girl is
forever.
I
listening.
was about to say, girl, you is married now. You can't be looking for a man.
I'm trying to trade mine in for like a
Oh.
96 version.
Robin, how many years have you been married?
42 years.
Wow.
He said it
Okay.
would last.
Yep, 42
Okay.
years.
It said Barbara Anderson said, I know people who have met on dating sites, married and divorced. I know people who have met not on dating
Exactly.
sites that are
Right.
married and divorced.
Yes.
So I think, we don't know. It's the whole
Right.
thing, almost like adoption. People go, oh, I don't know if I would
Right.
adopt.
Mhm.
Your own kid can lock you in the bathroom. Like
That's
you
right.
just never know. And
Right.
so I do think you get what you're looking for. If you meet up with a great guy who you can't have his phone number, he needs to call you. You can't go to his house.
Something's
He only
wrong.
comes to your house. Like all the red
Red
flags
flag.
are there.
Oh,
When
red
I think back over my life, it was red flags everywhere
Yes.
that I didn't want to
Mhm.
see. So
Right.
at this
I told
age,
my cousin once that this guy, he worked at the prison. So he could only talk to me when he was off his shift. And she was like, no, baby, he's an inmate.
You know where he was at night.
Yeah, I sure did. But I knew where he wasn't either, and that was the problem.
gosh.
so
Oh
you
my
thought he was
God.
calling you on a break.
Yeah. He was like,
I can see that. I can see that, baby
Yeah.
girl. We Virgos.
I listen.
Early on, when you're young, a Virgo will believe whatever you
Sounding
say.
all sexy and whatnot.
Because he was whispering. So the CO wouldn't hear him talking on that illegal payphone.
Oh my
Oh
gosh,
my
that's a good
goodness,
one.
that's funny.
That's a good
That
one.
is funny. Oh my
Although,
God.
are we opposed to dating men who are incarcerated?
Yes.
I am.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
And even after
Without
not
question.
incarcerated anymore.
Okay, it's done.
What'd you say, DD?
I said even after they get out.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't want to find out where you
Tracy-
live.
Tracy said, yes, we are. I remember, because you guys know my dad used to be the chaplain at the prison. And I remember asking him, is so-and-so there? Did you tell him that you were my father? He was like, I don't have conversations about my family, Alma. I was
Good.
like, oh,
Good
Oh,
move. Good
okay,
move, Dad.
Reverend. Like, I didn't
Yes.
even know. Because I told him that I wanted to be a warden and I thought people should be able to do this, this, and this. He was like, you are explaining a country club, not a prison. So you need to decipher which one is which.
Which one
But
you want to work on?
I also think, like, if you are interested in, so for me, I think sometimes our list of who we're looking for can be a bit thick.
Much, yeah.
And sometimes, like, if you meet a guy and he is 5 of the 10 things on the list,
No,
just
8.
go out with him.
8,
I'm
not
going
5.
with 8 as well.
I wouldn't
8.
say 8. I wouldn't say 8.
7 and a half.
8.
I say 5, 6 is enough.
You got a husband, girl.
Yeah,
Right.
but at this age,
Right.
who wants to mold a man?
But
You
do
know,
you
at
have
this
to mold
age.
a man? I mean,
No.
you're just trying to have
Yes.
a good time. Ain't no
Yes.
need.
If you have the 8, you absolutely don't.
If
Right.
you have the 8 right, but 4 and 5.
So we are our advice to you, thank you for writing in to ask Alma. Our advice to you is, if you're looking for a guy, do the regular sports things, grocery stores, say hello, put your lip gloss on before you leave the house. And girlfriends, you can check book clubs. There are hiking clubs. You can join a church near your house. But yeah, there are a lot of different ways to meet people. You've got to get out there and meet people.
Car wash Saturday morning. Wash your own car.
I hear that
know
all the
Right.
time.
car
You ain't
wash
got a
every
man if you're
Saturday,
washing your
I
own
ain't
car,
seen
so you
nobody
are
at car
available.
wash.
I
My
don't know,
husband-
Going to
Jessica.
work there, it's like, hurry up and get past this.
Excuse me.
Bessie, I've heard a lot of women who've met men at car washes. That seems to be the
Really?
thing.
Go to
The newer car
wash I
washes
go to
now.
then.
The newer ones, not the old ones it's the new ones that also are a part of Royal Farms or something like that.
And they have vacuums.
They got
And you have to
everything.
vacuum those
Yes,
mats all by
yeah.
yourself. You know, to be a
Yes,
little
all kind of
damsel.
stuff. Yeah,
My husband does wash my car, so I'm happy about that.
mine does too, and he
Yeah.
keeps mine full of gas, and he always has. And he starts my car in the morning. I'm very appreciative of that
Oh,
too.
that's nice.
He
I
has
know,
done
it's
that
too
the whole
much.
time we've been married. Yeah, I appreciate it. But I
That's
used
nice.
to ask for flowers all the time, and he didn't send me flowers too much. But then remember when the gas prices went up, he would come home with the receipt and go, "Here go your flowers here."
There They're the ones I don't have.
Right, I would
Look,
laugh.
I have to say this. I was complaining about that same thing with my husband some years ago. And I said, you never send me flowers, because I had women, was getting flowers at Valentine's Day, birthdays, that type of thing.
Uh-huh.
And so I stormed out to my room and just said, you don't do nothing for me. He said, well, does her husband fried chicken for you like I'm doing right now?
That's right. I'm cooking dinner.
Enough
That's
said.
right.
It's
Enough
like,
said.
And bring you breakfast in bed.
Yes, he
Yeah,
does.
every day.
Yes.
I'm not
So
going
do
to
any of these
complain.
husbands have siblings or brothers?
Look,
That's the
trust
thing
me.
too. I think
You don't want to
people
know. They have. He has
not
a brother, but
not necessarily like brothers,
But his
but I
brother's
do
got a
think
wife.
if somebody has a relative, a cousin who's not married or something, like it's nice to be open and go to the movies or something like that. But anyway, that was great. Thank you, ladies. That question number 1 went really well, and I wish her well. That was a very good question to send in, and I
yes.
appreciate her honesty with her age and where she is in life. I think it'll be just fine for you, and you'll meet people.
Go out.
Yes, indeed.
Mhm.
Question number 2. Let's hear it.
And now for a second question. Alma, help. My husband of over 30 years have turned into a liar. I know we all sometimes exaggerate, but he is now just telling full-blown lies. When we're around our family, our adult children, and friends, he comes up with stories that I've never heard of and never participated in, and has us traveling around the world on extravagant adventures. He says we have lived in different places around the world. And the other night, he was talking about how many different foreign cars he has owned over the years. My neighbor recently asked me if we enjoyed our trip to Paris. We didn't go to Paris. I was so embarrassed. I just smiled and rushed away. When I bring this to his attention, he brushes it off and say it's nothing. I don't know if he's losing his mind or just being silly. Do you have any advice for me on how to handle this crazy, crazy situation?
Why is she
Hi,
still with this
Sean.
man?
Hi, Sean. How are
He's
you?
just making up stories. Let him. I would let him.
Making up
That
stories.
woman, that neighbor would have thought we had the best time ever in Paris.
Not if you were
I
home
would
every
have.
day when she thought you were gone.
Well, it doesn't matter if she believes us or not. I would have just joined in that. Well, first, initially I thought he might need to see a doctor. There may be something
Exactly.
neurological going on with him, and there may be something really serious. But if he's just like
He's just
all
brushing it
all
off.
But maybe
all
he
the
reads
family
a lot,
knows they
and
haven't
in
done
his
this.
books he's traveling, and so
Right, he's just
it's
trying to
like
create the life he didn't
sharing.
have.
He's
So
a
Renita asked me,
liar.
right?
He's not lying.
You know what?
He's
No, that
he's
that
not
was the
lying.
name of her. That was the name of
But
her email.
he
He
is
is a
he,
liar. That's what she
he's
said.
not lying.
So, Renita wants us to recap the question. So, Renita, this woman wrote in. She said that her husband has started telling extravagant stories about
Well,
them
yes.
and his life that just are not true. And that she doesn't know if he needs medical help or if he's just being crazy or what. But he was recently talking about the number of foreign cars that he owns, and he doesn't own any foreign cars. And she said that he was telling friends and family about trips and reminiscing about trips that they had taken, and they hadn't taken any of those trips. And that she was outside, and the neighbor said, "Hey, how was your trip to Paris?" Because the husband told the neighbor that they had gone to Paris, and she just quickly dashed away because they hadn't gone to Paris and she wasn't sure
I would have said,
what to
girl, I
say.
got this beautiful scarf and some perfume. You
Oh my
wouldn't have
gosh, I
believed how
was
big
not.
Paris was.
Gee, well, you gonna start lying with him?
I know.
It's just an exaggeration. We don't have. Do we
Yeah.
know how old he is?
He
Mm,
has to be fairly young, I would say. If they've only been married for 26 years, well, it could be any age, to be honest. But
yeah.
if they've just
But
been
she
married
said
for
adult
26
children, didn't
years,
she?
Yeah.
well,
She
you can
said
have
Yeah.
adult.
adult children,
Yeah, that's true.
with
Yeah, after
26
26
years,
years,
but
right?
When she approached him
He's
and said, "Why did you
lying.
tell the neighbor that we went to Paris?" and he just kind of brushed it off. Nothing is wrong with him. He's a liar.
He is a liar. A really bad, like,
Yes.
that
Well,
would.
it depends on how you say Ford Fusion. It could sound like a foreign car.
It's all he's gone.
I'm crazy and I think that. So that's
Like he shops at Penier.
He got a croissants for breakfast.
Uh-uh.
We have that at the center, so we're going away.
Right. So Pat
Maybe it's
said,
really just the life he wishes he had, and he's just making up these stories. I mean, there are pathological liars. There are,
there
but
are
he doesn't.
young and old.
He didn't elaborate when she confronted him about it. He didn't continue
Right.
the story. He was just like, I'm just playing. So
Mhm.
he knew what he was doing.
Right.
Girl, I'm just playing
Maybe
with
the neighbor
you.
was just some nosy biddy, and he wanted to just make her feel like
Tracy said he's smoking.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Well,
Yeah,
Pat says
something.
some people with dementia can't distinguish between reality and something they've seen on TV. So if he's in the early set of dementia, then we certainly feel sorry, for their family to have to deal with that. But if he's just making it up, then I say, who cares?
Herschel Walker
making it-
says that he used to be a police officer. No, we're on record.
Please don't make me talk about him. Please do not
So
make
that's
me
all I
talk
got.
about
We're
him.
on record, so crazy
Okay,
goes all over the place.
Exactly.
Okay, for
He's got that CTE. Thank you, Deneen. Yes, he is lying to
yeah,
her.
he is lying, and she should not contribute to his lies. I
Right.
would just say no in public. Like when he says whatever and we did this, I would go, I don't remember that. Refresh my memory, or that
So
kind
you
of
would
thing.
you would think it's okay for you to embarrass your husband in front of other people?
Yeah.
Everybody, yeah.
I'm not, look, first of all,
Condone lying.
first
You
of all,
cannot
I'm not
condone
embarrassing
lying like
him.
that.
Right. I'm
Right.
not embarrassing
That's
him.
right,
He's
Aunt
embarrassing
Kim.
himself. I'm not embarrassing him. He's
See, Mary
embarrassing
Lou
Exactly.
said, at least he is not hiding an outside child. Now that's a lie.
Mary Lou, we covered that. We covered that question
Oh,
in the third
God.
episode. But that is a lie, yeah. But
Yeah.
he, unless he comes home and says, "Hey, I got some kids down the street," she's like, "What are you
I found them
talking
in
about?"
Paris.
And I would be concerned with the lies to the adult children. Like, what kind of lies is
Right.
he telling his adult children trying to pass along? Because if he is unhappy with his life and wants to do something about it, then do something about it. But don't
They
go
should
around
go
and
on
tell people.
vacation. He should
I
be
was
taking
gonna
her on
say,
the places
Right.
we've been talking about.
Bring his
Pack our
memory back.
bags and say,
Right.
baby, we're going back to Paris. That's
Then you can go. You can
Right.
take him to the doctor.
I had such a wonderful time the last time we went. I think we should go again. And they said, hop on the plane and go.
Oh my goodness gracious, poor thing.
That's a lot. That is a lot, because it makes me wonder what all is he exaggerating? Like,
Well, after
Exactly.
26 years, she should know most of it, right?
right. And if you can do it with friends and family and out, oh my goodness, can you imagine when he's by himself and runs up on somebody in a
the
line at
supermarket
the
or
grocery store? Oh no.
But those
My
are the
wife
people
is a
you should tell, the
queen.
people who don't know you and don't know your wife.
Right, those
My
people
father
that
is
don't.
invisible.
Like, I met this guy.
Yes.
I can make myself disappear if I can.
That's right. That's when you take him to the doctor.
When
you
he
start talking that crazy stuff.
Oh, you didn't think what he was already saying was crazy?
Oh, he's a liar.
He is lying. So I do agree with you, Lillian. Like, if he's telling strangers, but he's like telling people that they know and their family members. And so to her, it's quite embarrassing.
Yeah.
So I don't blame you, girl. I'd be embarrassed too, but I would check him.
Mhm.
I would say, and then see if he gets mad. If he gets mad at you, then you know that is something up. But if he laughs that you caught him, then you know he's being silly and like just trying to
But she
pull
should maybe take
everybody's
him to the
leg.
doctor. She may want to.
Maybe he
Silly
was
is once
thinking
or twice,
Paris
but all the
Island,
time it's crazy.
South Carolina.
Right. Exactly. He was not thinking
About friends.
across the water. So yeah, our advice to you would be make an appointment for your husband. And when y'all get there, if he's mad about it, just tell him, well, I had to check you because you got some things going on. So that's our advice to you.
Or this
Yay.
doctor wanted to hear about your adventures.
Right. He wants to hear
I
about
have a
all
question. The people that are writing into you, do
Yes.
they watch this program?
I hope that they do. Some of them respond, yeah.
Right, you changing your
Well,
advice now?
No.
Are you changing your advice?
He's a liar.
Well,
yes. No,
it
we
is
don't
the
want
truth.
no liars. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
But they
Love it,
wanted the
love it.
honest truth, right?
Yes,
They want
exactly.
to hear the advice. So
Yeah. And I think it's
that's the
easier to
advice.
hear from people who don't know you because, like, if
Right.
your
Yeah.
sister or your cousin
Right.
tell you, then you're mad. But when we tell you in our kind and loving way, Robin, let her know he's a what?
A liar.
There you go. Like, you can handle it so much better coming from us. And I know a
Look,
part of
I
you is
hope her
saying,
name.
I know, right?
I hope her name isn't Molly, because I say Molly, you in danger,
Girl,
girl.
you're in trouble.
I love that movie.
I do too.
From Ghost. That's from Ghost.
Molly, you in danger,
Yes.
girl.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
Yes.
That's the best answer for that
Oh my
question. We're gonna wrap
God.
it up.
And Bill, don't you
All right.
don't
But
some
at
of those
least they know
murder
when they
shows
write
you look
into
at?
you that you are going to bring it to some people with opinions.
Right.
Right.
What you say,
But I
again?
was going to ask you, don't some of your murder shows start off with the same plot?
They
Yep.
do. I told you that. That's why I
Right.
look at them. So I can't be duped.
So,
Okay,
like
you guys,
Robin said, if her name is Molly, you're in danger,
Molly,
girl.
you in
Yeah,
danger,
for
girl.
real.
Okay, there we go. All right, ladies. Question number 3. Here we go. Come on now. Oh, there we go.
Final question. Dear Alma, 10 years ago I relocated to a new city. I wanted to meet new friends, so I joined an online dating service. One man in particular I met, really liked, and slept with within the same week. It didn't turn out the way I wanted. He didn't call me back. So that was that. Now fast forward to the present. For the past 6 months I've been dating the man of my dreams. I met his family over the weekend. As soon as I met his brother, I immediately recognized him as my one night stand from all those years ago. He didn't seem to remember me. Now I don't know what to do. Should I tell his brother or keep this to myself?
Okay, recap. 10 years ago, this woman met a man, had a one night stand. Now she realizes she is dating his brother. They are getting along quite well, and she is hoping that this relationship turns into something. Her question is, should she fess up and tell the truth or not? Now, I've already answered her, and it has run in the paper. So I will listen to what you ladies think she should do. Renita, I can't wait to hear what you think she should do.
No.
Miss C, let's see what you think. Should she say something, Vanessa? Should she fess
No,
up?
why? Just let sleeping dogs, and I mean that literally and figuratively. Lie. This is an occasion where you just keep. She's in a new relationship now. If she want to share this later with her guy that she's dating now, Tracy says first find out for sure if that's him. That's really him.
I don't know. Robin, what do you think?
I think she's hooking up with the first lady's husband that's been married for 26 years.
Who's telling the lies so he can keep his wife confused about what's happening, right?
That's his trip to
About his
Paris,
side
honey.
chick, right? About his side.
His side piece.
Lillian, what you think?
You know, everybody's got a
The
past.
thing says,
And if you're not
don't
going to
say
tell
it.
me about yours, I'm certainly not going to start telling you about mine.
Yeah.
And if it's going to make a difference to him that 10 years ago you slept with his brother, you didn't even know it was his brother. And if you sleep with his
Right.
brother like tomorrow, you do know it.
Right.
It
Right.
shouldn't make any difference.
Yeah.
That's a whole different ball game. But the way that that letter ended sounded like she wanted to ask him, did he remember her?
Yeah.
Because she said that he didn't act like he was, there was nothing that gave her a feeling that he remembered her. So what is she trying to get from all of this? Is she trying to rekindle a flame from
What the means?
Her name is Billy.
That's what you
He ain't in it.
the first time she met him. Oh,
I just had a horrible
mother,
thought though. If she confronts him and say, "Do you remember me?" and he says, "Open your legs, let me see." I'm serious. I mean, it was just a one-night stand.
Mommy, you in danger, girl.
I said leave it in the past.
No. She should say nothing. And if he pretends like
Right.
he knows her, she should act like she doesn't know him.
Oh, I would act like I
Right.
didn't
I'd
know
be like,
him when
oh,
I
I'm
stepped out of my
sorry,
car.
we've never met. I'm sorry, I don't know who you are.
Right. Right. You don't know me?
Well, because the reality is, it was 10 years ago, one night stand, and then he ghosted her. So he probably doesn't.
Exactly.
He probably really
Right.
doesn't remember who she is.
Right.
But even
Right.
so, even if he goes, a light bulb goes off one night, and he goes,
Vanessa,
"Oh,
what
you know
you
what?
smiling
That's that
for?
woman."
You smiling
I would
about
say,
something?
I don't know you. We've
Right.
never met. I don't know who you are.
Right.
Yeah.
But look,
What is
what
he
they
gonna
say,
say?
you know what? But what do guys say all the time? It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
But
It
Sean
wasn't
said men
Wasn't me.
remember.
Well,
Sean
he didn't call
replied
me
in the
back.
chat that men remember.
Who you remember, Sean? Who do you remember? You remember me, Sean? You remember that night, Sean?
That's right. If it's no video, look, no
Okay,
video.
my special chat says, if you don't have video, it didn't happen.
It didn't
Hey.
happen. I'm with you,
Look,
Big.
in the words of Northwest, no pictures,
Right.
no pictures. You ain't got no pictures. It wasn't
But
me.
Sean said if it was worth his while, he would remember. But clearly it wasn't, because he didn't come back and he didn't even call to say, "Did you get home okay?"
Exactly.
At least you get a call
And
when
I
you
wonder
get
how
in.
much you respect somebody if the first night you meet them, they sleep with you.
Right.
Well,
I
I
used
think that's a
to.
whole
How
other
many more
conversation.
people
That's
Because
a
I
whole
think
nother conversation.
choosing to
I
have
felt-
sex
I
early or
felt
late
that
is
way.
really right.
I felt that way before 50. But on the other side of 50, go on, girl. They have a good time and call it a day.
No.
But-
Yeah, 76.
But he, no, he even if he remembers her, he's probably not going to say anything. But I doubt
Right.
very seriously 10 years, because she
Yeah.
done had 5 hairstyles and 4 wig changes since then. So he's not going to remember who
She don't even look right.
Can I be
say something to him, and he gets that. "Oh, that voice sounds familiar." But
Right.
she could just still say, "I'm sorry, we've never met.
I don't know
who
you.
are."
You don't know me?
Who you are.
I don't know who you are. Right. Don't do.
Keep it moving. I got a man.
Yeah. And he shouldn't really want to. Well, somebody in the chat when we had talked about it, when I posted it this week, had said, about his brother. Like, would he consider how that would make his brother feel, or is this something that one brother wants to have over the other brother? And they were also talking about how men don't forgive that. Like maybe a woman
But even
with
if
10
maybe
years.
if it was a relationship, maybe if they had spent a couple of months together, went on vacation together, something like that, I could see where he might want to, even if it's a dig. But if it's a dig, if he say, "Hey, bro, I knocked off your girl 10 years ago,"
Oh, wow.
she's gonna say,
The first
"I
night
don't
met
know
her.
you.
Right.
I don't know who you are. Your brother's confused. Maybe he's jealous because you got me. I don't know, but I don't know
Right.
him."
I don't know
We
him.
can walk in a room with 4 or 5 men we've known and pretend like we don't
And
know
say,
none of
I
them.
don't know you.
That's
Right,
what
we
she needs
could.
to do. Pretend like she
Yeah.
doesn't know him.
I don't know who you are.
He
That
ghosted her,
wasn't
now
me.
she needs to ghost him.
Exactly.
Oh, that's your
That's what I
brother.
was
Hi,
thinking.
it's nice to meet you.
Wait a minute. That was his brother that she's dating now?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the brother. What's that song? It wasn't me.
Now your answer is different.
It wasn't me. Oh, so Robin, you would
Hmm.
change your answer?
Oh no, I wouldn't change my answer. No,
Right?
Okay.
No, we no. I
no,
don't know you. I don't know
I
mm-mm.
you.
don't know you.
No.
No.
Everybody has a twin, and that must be who you were with, because it is
Mm-hmm.
not me.
Yeah. Well, or
No.
say, I because if he, like D said, if he didn't even call you afterwards to
He wasn't
say,
interested.
right, he
Nope.
wasn't
Right.
interested and you were not on his radar. And so now it's your turn for you to not be interested
Right.
and not have him on your
And he might
radar.
remember you naked, but he ain't
He
remember
ain't gonna
that
see it.
because he ain't your brother. So
With clothes on, you look like a
Exactly.
different person.
right.
Mm-hmm. That's
With those
right.
Vanessa, with
And
those
on his
Spanx
brother's
on,
arm, you look different.
right?
Huh?
With those Spanx on, you look totally different from
And
That's
10
right.
years later, you're trying to lay position so things look
right.
like they
Right.
perky, and
Right.
it's a lot of work. He's never gonna
Look.
see any of that because she with the
But
brother now. So keep it
Demi,
moving.
remember that time we went on a trip and your mom said someone recognized her after she bent over? He probably
Yeah.
would say to her, bend over, let me see.
What if he remembers later on and tells the brother everything my daughter said?
But there's no
That's that
everything
But
to
lying
Tia,
down.
like
tell.
what? What
There's
can
no
he
everything
tell?
to tell. He can
One
say,
night,
man, I
that's all
slept with
he
your
had to
girlfriend.
tell.
Get ahead of the story.
What
And then
story?
I still wouldn't tell him.
yeah,
What story?
No.
There's no story.
he's
There
gonna say
no
to the
There's
brother,
no
no.
I think
story.
I slept with your
One
girlfriend.
night.
When? 10 years ago. Did
Right.
y'all date? No, it was a one night stand. And he's gonna ask her, and she's gonna say, I have never seen your brother in my life.
Thank
I
you.
Right.
Because
don't know who
Mm-hmm.
he is. He's
anything
confusing
else
me
will
with someone
end the
else.
relationship. I'm gonna give her
Right.
like right straight up. If she
Now, if
says
they both
anything different.
watching, the brothers are watching too, then that might be a
But
problem.
yeah, like Mary Lou
One,
said, there is
one
no
night
story. And
There's no
only,
story.
Tia,
one night only.
and Tia, you feel that way because you're young and beautiful and you have a good heart. On the other
Yes,
side of
she
50,
does.
on the other side of 50, girl, I don't know you.
You are
I
bound to
don't
run
know
into
you.
someone that you may have known intimately. That's just reality. And
And sometimes he's with his wife and he lied and didn't
yeah,
tell you that he was married.
Right.
That's
Right.
usually what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and I always laugh because my cousin Dina, we were talking one time. She was like, "You can walk in your house, go up to the bedroom, and catch your husband butt naked with the woman in the bed, and after he has said 15 times it wasn't me, you walk down to the kitchen going, was that him?" Because a man will say 15 times, you can
it
hold
wasn't
up
me.
evidence, have CSI blood
Mm-hmm.
residue, like you can put it
Or
all
it
out. He'll be
wasn't
like,
what you think.
right,
It
it
wasn't
wasn't
like you
me. It
think.
wasn't what you think. Like I was giving her CPR. I don't know why you what's wrong with you? Like
On
Now
my brand new shoes.
CPR, that's a stretch.
On
That
your
is a
on your brand new
stretch.
sheets, right?
Right.
Your Egyptian cotton comforter.
How
You give
about that?
CPR.
Preach,
it
Dee
wasn't
Dee.
me. It wasn't me.
It
It
wasn't me.
wasn't me. Okay. Oh my
That's
gosh,
it.
this was so much fun. I hope you ladies come back and visit us. Yay,
We
yay,
sure
yay,
will. Do
yay.
we have to wait 3 years again?
No.
Years.
That's right.
I was trying to
No.
see what
So
Denise
we
said. She
telling her
said,
to
so we're
lie.
telling her to lie. And we're telling her to
No,
lie.
we're
Go
not
boys,
And
telling her.
go
No,
go
we're not telling her
go
to lie
boys.
like the guy in Paris. No, the guy, we're telling her she doesn't remember him. It was
Gaslighting at
10
its
years ago.
finest. Uh-huh.
It was like he already ghosted her. Like we're not
right.
talking about a guy who came up to
But
her and
she
said,
actually has
"Hey, how you
absolutely no
doing?" Blah blah
guarantee it
blah.
was him. She has no guarantee that it was
Yeah, I
even
think
him.
we know if it's him.
I
And
have
then if
one
he
more
told
thing
a
to
story, it
say.
was like,
Never
wow, you
forget.
got a great
Especially because he
imagination.
ghosted her, we remember him.
Right.
I
He
have
be
one
he, he
thing to
be in the
say to
file
this
cabinet,
lady.
right?
She's a liar.
No, just
So
keep it
Denise
moving.
says so she can lie, but old boy can't go to Paris. I told him to go to Paris. Denise, I said he should go to Paris.
Look, Demeen, on both of those issues, it wasn't him. It wasn't him.
Oh gosh.
Thank you,
This
everybody,
was
for joining us
fun.
tonight.
Thank
This
you
was
for
so
Thank
much
you for
fun.
having us.
You're welcome. We will have to get you guys back on the
Thank you,
calendar because
Alma.
we have some more
More than
conversations
3
to
years.
have.
Yes.
Everybody who's watching, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love being with you guys every Tuesday. Come on back and see us. Check me out on social media. I always forget to say that, but I would appreciate it, Tia, if you could get in touch with your Aunt Alma. And I really, really, really would appreciate if you guys would share tonight's show so we can get it out there and get a bunch of people watching. So Lillian, my godmother, Bessie, Vanessa,
Thank
Robin,
you.
my
Love
aunties.
you.
Love you guys so much. Thank you.
That's
Thank
not
you.
my real name. That's a disclaimer.
What did it used to be?
That's your alien.
Bonquisha.
Yes. Shaquan.
Shaquan.
Yes.
Diddy. Thank you, girl.
Thank you,
Best friend.
Didi.
Thank
And you guys have a great
I can't
evening.
even do that. People do that perfectly. I can't do that. Is my
I
hands too
can't
big?
either, D.
You
I
got to
think
put
it's
your
arthritis
thumbs
in my
down.
hands. It won't do it.
I don't know. I don't have time for that.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.